Hi everyone, welcome back to Two Bad Decisions.
I'm Laur,
And I'm Han.
and today we're gonna do like a little soft podcast where we talk about like our hopes and dreams and college goals and all that. But
hmm
first, we're gonna check in real quick and update you guys with some exciting news. So, Han, what have we been doing lately?
Okay, so first of all, it took us like 15 minutes to start this podcast because we kept laughing, and that's because we just spent the past like how many hours has it been? It's been hours
Yeah,
of
it's been a while.
yeah, we've been ordering products from our new shop. And Laura, what is our new shop? What are we selling? What are we doing?
We are selling stickers. We are selling pins. We're selling some totes and shirts, which I love. I love the totes. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we spent a lot of time working on some really pessimistic stickers with like really pretty colors, and we're so excited. It's like the best thing in the world. I'm so excited to like create a brand with Han and like
I
have
know.
stickers and a podcast. So I think we picked September 18th for the
I
release
think
date.
so. Yeah, it should be, unless
So
something
we're
goes horribly wrong. But
so we're just waiting for our products to come in so we can make sure everything's good. And if not, we're gonna cry because we spent a lot of money on our own products.
It was not cute. I don't even want to tell you guys how much it was. It's
Yeah, we are
embarrassing.
never going to make back that money. However, we do
Truly.
have some really cool stickers. And I
hmm
just want to wear our like brand,
hmm
so we can flex on the New Yorkers and say we have a side
Yeah.
hustle.
It's so cool, dude. And Laura drew all of our designs. She did all by herself, and we just kind of like consulted on the phrases that we used and but yeah, she did like all the heavy lifting and it's so good. She's so good. It's so I love it. It's
By
like
the way, this makes up for Han doing literally all the audio because anything I've attempted is not good.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, dude. It's gonna be so cute. And basically, we saw a hole in the market for the stickers that we wanted to see because like those they always have those really cute sticker shops and you're like, "Oh my God, I love this artist. I love how they letter and do all this stuff." But then the quotes are really like cringy. They're like,
I don't want to
I
reference a specific one and call someone out, but I'm going to. Han sent me a lot of inspiration for the designs, and one of them said, "People who meet you should meet Jesus." And I'm really not sure what that means.
I don't get it.
Like,
Like,
people who meet you, is that an insult? Like,
no, I feel
because
like it's a good thing, no. I don't
so people who meet you, let's break this down. So, like,
Mhm.
I meet Han,
They should also
therefore
meet.
I should meet Jesus.
Does that mean like I should introduce you or Jesus is like me? I'm Jesus?
That's what I think it means you're like Jesus. That's just a lot
Is
to
that how that
unpack.
works?
I
Are
could not
like
tell you.
like if you are religious, are you also by extension like genuinely? Like is it like you are so like in touch with your faith that you are also Jesus?
Because aren't they
The
like they're
spirit.
made? I went to Catholic school for like 12 years, so not like public or like a school like PSR. I don't know if anyone
hmm
knows what that is, but it was like Sunday school, except it was on Mondays, and I also had to go to Sunday school in church. So, or it was on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I assumed it was because we were like made in God's image.
hmm
That's what they told us, and I'm like, man, I don't think so. Like, I ended up like this. I'm not sure that that's correct, but
I
no
okay,
offense to my Catholics.
I just think okay, for the homophobic ones, the
Yeah,
homophobic Catholics or Christians, whatever it is, if we are made in God's image, then why are there gay people? Tell me. Well, I guess they think it's a choice, right? That's their
oh
opinion.
yeah, that's their thing.
Never
My
mind, I guess.
favorite like rebuttal to that is like, so why can't you like choose to be gay? Like, I mean, it's a choice. You could
If
sleep
it's
with
such a
men if you
choice.
wanted to.
They
What's
just don't
stopping
like that.
you
They get
from just?
offended. Oh my
I don't
gosh. Oh,
understand.
that was so graphic. Oh my god.
The whole thing's gonna be believed. Sorry, got a little heated.
Woo. Okay, that's a whole other conversation. But
Yes,
basically,
that
it's
is.
quotes like that, or like Mondays are I love Mondays. Mondays are my fun day. Like no, I
Mondays are a fresh start. It's
oh
like the
my
Forever
god.
21 of sticker shops. It's
Exactly. And so we have taken, Laura has taken the cuteness of those shops, but we've given you these horribly pessimistic phrases to go along with it, which I
should we
think is
give
great.
them like a
Oh, yeah.
A little hint.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite quote that we've used or phrase?
Mine, ooh, it's between the two I got on the tote bags.
Mm.
But I'm gonna just say this one because I feel like it really represents me, and it's I have a lot of misplaced anger. If anyone listened to to the last podcast, I was just really angry about a golf cart, but like not really. I put it all on like this 16-year-old girl, and I am so sorry.
And it's so funny because that's a real thing that Laur said. And then I was like, that's a good sticker. And now it's a sticker. So,
Yeah, a lot of them are inspired by like things we say or things we complain about. Or when my
mhm.
sister told me all my friends are more talented than me.
Oh, yeah. Another one of our stickers. Let me think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one that I really like. Oh my God, they're so good. I love all of them. I mean, I think one of I think our soon to be bestseller is going to be College is a Scam or All Art is Shitty, which is completely true
Yes.
if you think about it.
That was our beginning. And the thing I like about working with Hannah is we'll be like, "Do you want to like we want this. Like I want this for myself." And
hmm
then she's like, "Okay, so do it." Like
I know.
and I'm
We
like,
like,
"Wow,
yeah,
we can do this."
I know it's so cool. Like we said it one night and then like the next night, I think a sticker already existed. So
I stayed up for
amazing.
like 24 hours because I just wanted to keep creating more
Dude,
stickers.
they look so good. Also, another one that I really can I name another one? It's just like
Yeah, of
calling all of
course.
them. Your arts department is well funded and it shows.
I like that one.
It's such a niche, but I enjoy it.
We had some that were like way too specific and we just like made would have made them for ourselves. But yeah, like it's all good. We're trying to tap into that mainstream audience.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, mid-September, September 18th, we're gonna be dropping our first collection. So you can follow at Shop Two Bad Decisions for that account, separate from the podcast one. And yeah, I mean we'll be updating as time goes along, but that's what we've been doing for the past couple hours and the past couple days, weeks. I don't know how long it's
I
been.
think it's only been that's crazy to me. We decided we want to make something, made it, and then bought our own products to sample within like a week and a half. I can't
Wow.
say it's been more than a week and a half.
I don't even think it's been more than a week. Yeah, I feel like it's been a week, which is
That's
crazy.
insane.
I'm
Like
proud of that.
wow, good for us.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So that's our little check-in. And today, we're screwing around. We're just talking very lightly
Mm-hmm.
about things, about the future in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because for us and a lot of people, fall semester is going to be from home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad because of the state of the world, but also I'm not glad, obviously, because of the state of the world.
Right.
Like I
It's
wouldn't
one of
want.
those things where like you just kind of feel like if you don't go, like you feel like you're missing out, but actually you're probably not. Let me just share some like words of encouragement with everyone else who's choosing to stay online even though their school's open. Because I
Mhm.
could go back,
Ooh,
but I won't
yeah.
because when it gets bad again, and it will, I don't want to be in a super enclosed space. I don't want to bring it back to my family. I want to keep everyone safe, and we will be sent home. Like
Yeah, true.
my guess is 6 weeks in.
Yeah,
Um,
there's no way that it's not gonna
There's
cause another
absolutely no
outbreak.
way. No way. Um, so I know it feels like really shitty to have to make the responsible decision or like even having the opportunity to make the responsible decision. I get everyone's situation is different. I
Yeah.
know it feels kind of shitty, but like it's gonna be okay.
hmm
You're gonna have spring semester, hopefully. You're
Yeah,
gonna
if
have
if we
more
stay
years of
home.
college. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, there's a plane going by, which is incredibly
I
rude,
can't even
but
hear it.
oh, okay, amazing. But yeah, I mean, if we choose to be here now, maybe we get a spring semester. That's how
Right.
I look at it. And also, even if I was in New York for next semester, I would be terrified and be like holed up in my room.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe at
Yeah.
all.
So I might as well be holed up in my house where there's more space.
And I also know, like, I don't want to talk shit about New York. I also know their numbers are going down, but that's going to change. I feel
Yeah,
like
I think
I'm
so.
not a scientist, but I'm trying to listen to them. So,
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of sad. But my mom and I have been cleaning our garage. Well, we're pretty much done, I think. But so it used to be very, very messy, and we cleaned it so that I could go down there and pretend it's like my classroom. It's
Oh,
so
that's so
cute. And
cute.
I'm gonna have like a desk and my well, I mean there is one down there. And my dad's a musician and he has like this little like sound booth. You know, like when you see like recording artists in little
Yeah,
booths.
yeah.
It's like that kind of vibe. So you can sit, stand in there and like scream and no one can hear you pretty much. And like and we have it all set up and it's gonna be so cute. So I can do like I can sing in there. I don't know when I need some privacy to
Oh,
sing.
that's so nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice like gave out.
That's okay.
I'm setting up like a little study area in my room. I had this desk that I got for free because like
Hmm.
there was this person who bought it for cheap but then didn't want it anymore. So my dad's like, just take it. Like, and it didn't match my room because it was black and all my furniture is white. Like, there's not a single piece of furniture I have other than my light pink stool. But that's okay because it's not like a desk
Yeah.
or a dresser or anything. So my dad started, he like called me down to the shed the other day because I had moved it out and I was going to sand it and like I don't know, it just probably wouldn't have turned out good if I did it. He called me down to the shed and he was like repainting my desk and like it was
Oh,
really nice.
that's
And I'm
so
gonna put my
nice.
coffee station there
Yeah. Oh my
and
gosh.
my
Cute.
plants are gonna go on the windowsill and it's just gonna be like a good place for me to be and study and
That's nice.
I got a bunch of like holders and a laptop mat, like it's all good.
Yeah, that's nice. Um, yeah, it's weird because basically everything all my classes are New York time and I'm here. So I'm three
Mm.
hours behind New York.
Oh.
So my classes are 3 hours earlier than I anticipated. And my earliest class so I start school on the 26th and it's a
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday. And on that day, I have music theory too. I'm sorry, guys. My charger just flew out of the wall. But let me resituate. So yeah. Wait. Okay. Oh God, everything's buzzing and okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yes, I have music theory too, and then I have musical rehearsal after. And music theory is at 9 a.m., but that means that it starts at 6 a.m. for me.
Oh
And
no.
it's not good. I can't wake up early. I sleep at 6 a.m. Like, what? That's just not right.
I
Oh,
realize that's going to be such an issue. Like when school starts, I'm going to have
good.
to start being on a normal schedule. Unless, since my classes that I'm taking are meant to be online, like,
Oh,
like because NYU does offer in-person classes, and these are like specifically meant to be online. Maybe I don't know how Zoom meetings are going to work. I don't even know if we'll have them because some of them aren't like lecture paired.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's usually I like watching lectures, but on my own time.
Yeah,
So I can like pause and take notes and stuff like that.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
hopefully it's like a mixed media kind of learning thing because that's how I learn the best.
Yeah. I do. I like showing up for class, but I prefer the ones where I kind of just stay on mute and listen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really big on like, especially for music classes, like everyone participating at once is just not cute. Like it doesn't work very well. But yeah, that's my schedule is I know, can I tell you my schedule?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so on Monday, Wednesday, I have music theory too, as I said, and then I have musical rehearsal. And then Tuesday, Thursday, I think I have like um, oral skills, which everyone just misinterprets truly. Like I say oral and everyone loses it, but it means like AURAL, not
Oh,
the other one.
why was I still thinking ORAL, but like in a different sense?
Yeah,
I
like
was like, oh,
speaking skills.
vibes. Like you're just speaking really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's just like basically developing your musical ear.
ooh.
Yeah,
Can I
and
be completely honest with you?
hmm
I don't know what AURAL means.
oh my God. Okay, so it refers to like hearing.
Oh, so it's like you were like when you were telling me about that guy with perfect pitch.
Yeah,
Is
kind of
it
like
like
that.
that?
Yeah, like we're developing our pitch, and so like things that for an example, something that we would do is they'll give us, let's see, they'll give us maybe the key signature for something, and then play a random melody, and then you have to like write it by ear,
Oh,
like on sheet music,
wow.
because you're like listening. So it's developing your ear. That's like
That's
the
so
class.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite class, and I like music theory. And then I
Hmm.
have what else do I have? I have keyboard, which is just working on keyboard skills, and then I don't know, I'm blanking, but it's just like my other music classes. Oh, and choir, And then on Friday, I have one class where it's like the studio class where you meet with people and it's basically like performing class. Like, I don't know how
Hmm.
else to explain it, but that's like the basic of it.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, but that's like my schedule. And dude, like music classes are not cute online. Like it just doesn't work as well. And I'm,
I can't
ugh.
imagine it's easy to like stay together on literally anything.
Yeah, it's hard. So that's why like you like adjust things so that you don't have to do it together, but then it's bad by yourself. So it like ruins
Just
everything.
the solo alto line is what I'm
Oh God. Yeah. Or like they'll make you mute yourself so that you don't like mess up Zoom and then they'll play the piano while you sing and you're just muted, which is okay. But then it's like, what if I'm wrong? Then you can't correct me. You don't know. Like yeah. But
To be a music major during a global
I
pandemic.
know, truly. Or any sort of arts or like science where you have to do like labs and stuff.
A dance major.
Oh no. Oh God, I would be like kicking shit off of my shelves, like spinning and I don't know what dance. I don't know how to dance. Me assuming that
I
spinning.
saw this. I saw this girl. The only reason I brought it up is because she was like, using her like point shoes on carpet, and I wasn't. I was a dancer for a long
Mhm.
time, and like I never got to get point shoes because you have to when your foot stops growing. And I was 12 when I quit.
Oh, okay.
12. Yeah, I think I was 12. So they wouldn't let us get point shoes yet. I was about a year or two away from point shoes,
Mhm.
or when your foot's like close to stopping growing. I don't even
Mhm.
know because I never got them. But she was like on point shoes on the carpet, and that's like the number one rule is you don't
Oh
do that.
no.
And her ankle just like
Oh. Oh no. No. Oh God. That'd be me.
so wasn't a dancer for long, but I knew that. And so I'm just wondering where she's getting her education.
That's the same vibes as like if you don't have a keyboard at home, you have to print one or draw one and you just put your fingers on it. Like tragic.
I think that's so funny. Oh my
I'm
god.
just like, no.
You won't even know if you're wrong
I
either.
know. And then like what are you gonna say?
Can't hear
Like,
it.
because then it, oh God, I don't even want to get into it. It's so upsetting to think about. Like, what? Uh,
Speaking of things, speaking of things that are
mhm.
upsetting, me and Han spent practically an
Oh,
hour today going over discourse about the University of Pennsylvania. And here's the thing.
uh,
If you had asked me yesterday how many Ivy League schools there were, I would have said 7, and I would have been wrong because I had no clue that UPenn was an Ivy League. And I'd heard it was a really good school and it's really hard to get into. But we were like, it couldn't have always been an Ivy League because you always hear about the 7 Ivy
mhm.
Leagues. Um, and sorry, I was thinking about how some of the responses we got to our
Oh
poll, but
God. Okay, we'll get into that after, but that's a whole other
yeah,
weird thing.
it's like a different ballpark. And let me tell you, I was convinced the East Coast people that like follow me would be better at it because we live on the East Coast around the area of a lot of Ivy Leagues.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, they're just so dumb. Um, I mean, I love some of the people that responded, but like never again am I having a poll on my story. So at least Hannah's friends knew what she meant. What we were talking about, we're like, maybe UPenn was added in
Yeah, that's what
later.
I thought. That's what
And
makes
so,
sense. Because I'd never even
right, and
heard of it being an Ivy League or thought that.
right, and we thought it was like a Mandela effect thing, like because there have always been 8 Ivy Leagues, but all of them are named. So this is what this one girl said. All of them were named after people who either bought them or were like heavily religious, like in heavily like religious affiliations. I can't even
Hmm.
remember. That's why they're named like Harvard,
Yeah, they're people's last names, right?
you know, like Yale, all that. And then UPenn is just the University of Pennsylvania. But it was like a secular thing created by, maybe it wasn't no, it was secular, created by Ben Franklin
Yeah.
for like, and he wouldn't let anyone else name it or something. It was something weird. But me and Han were like, there's no way that's always been the case. And I guess it has. And this boils my blood. So it was formed because of the NCAA, like something with like athletic, like some kind of allegiance
Basically,
in
like,
like
yeah,
football.
they all, since they're all in the area, they would play each other in sports, various sports. And so it became a thing
Mm-hmm.
that they're like rivals. And then, like, I think that's what and it became a thing. I think what happened was became an association because they were only playing each other for the most part, and they were like the superior ones. Therefore, it became
Mm-hmm.
like this weird like elite thing that came from the
Right.
athletics aspect. And because these a lot of these schools were founded in the 1700s, but the actual term
Yep.
Ivy League did not come about until the 1950s. But that entire time, it had been like an unspoken kind of thing, like, oh, this is like, I don't know, like a rich people club or whatever. Like,
Right.
and then the term came about. But it all stemmed from the athletics thing. That's what made them associate with each other.
And can I just say, this is like why I always like I'm really like cynical about the connections between like academia and like or academia, however people say it. And like sorry, I'm from Ohio. I say words weird.
Mm-hmm.
But um, like there's always that connection that's like I succeeded academically or sorry, not academically. I succeeded athletically, therefore I'm a good school academically.
Yeah.
And it
That's
like
so
I'm not a
obnoxious.
fan of that.
As an art kid, this is the age old fight of like, why don't you give us more money? And then like they pay for like an entire football field for whatever. Like and
And then the whole football team's tuition.
yeah, and then they get horrible grades, but they still get to play. Whatever. But yeah, it's like one of those things where, of course, like I did not know anything about that, the athletics thing for the Ivy Leagues, but of course, this very socially elite group of colleges is like all tied to athletics. Like, of course,
Right.
I'm so mad about it because it makes perfect sense.
And it seems like we're extrapolating here, but let me tell you something. There were 9 colonial colleges on the East Coast to begin with. Like the colleges that are from like the 1700s. And okay, so the Ivy League is 7 of those. There were 2 that were, and Cornell came like later
Yeah.
on. But there were originally 9 colonial colleges. And now, like, you don't even know the other 2 because they weren't in this like tight knit sports, like whatever allegiance. And there were, I think it was Marion Williams, or it was something like it was Marion someone, and I was like, that's a stupid name, because I don't understand why it's called that. And then there was, watch, I just like gravely offended someone. Maybe it has some kind of like historical context that I have no idea. But and then the other one was something of New Jersey, and like it was again one of those names that was just like kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
and like, but I'd never heard of it, and like it just made me like realize like, oh, these should have been on the level of the Ivy Leagues, but they weren't because they weren't in this like tight knit sports allegiance. There was literally nothing different between them and the 7 of the like Ivy Leagues that were also colonial colleges. There was no difference. It was just that one was 7 were in like some kind of athletic allegiance
Yeah.
and 2 weren't, and therefore they got forgotten, and now they're not one of like the, I think all of the Ivy Leagues are within the top 20, maybe even 15
Yeah.
of the schools in our nation.
Yeah. Aside from all of the athletic things that are associated with the Ivy Leagues, just the idea of elite colleges, and then it's also like very like socially elite. Like it's not even just like, oh, we have the best. It's not necessarily like, oh, we have the best education because the number one, like the hardest school to get into is not even an Ivy League, right?
Yeah, for only out of the top 10 hardest schools to get into, only 4 are Ivy
Yeah,
Leagues.
so that doesn't.
But the top 3 nationwide are Ivy Leagues, but then I think out of the top, I'm going to say top 11 because 2 are tied for 10th, only 5 are Ivy Leagues.
Yeah, and like so that shows that they're good schools, obviously, but they're not necessarily the best, and so the elitism comes from the social aspect of being rich, which is which it comes down to that, and like family names and generations of families going to these Ivy Leagues, because that's how it carries on. That's how it becomes such a social thing, because
like a legacy.
yeah, and that in itself pisses me off because that's obnoxious and it's just college, but go off. And I know a lot of people care about that, and that's fine. I just think I don't care. But like I don't know. I just think it's a little silly.
I don't necessarily mind. Okay. I think there is a context in which I could like Ivy Leagues, but it would be more like, I don't think they're fair. They don't, okay, this is like shitty and it sounds like I'm just complaining, but it's not like I didn't get into one. I just didn't apply. And like, Also, I wouldn't have gotten into
Me
one.
neither.
But like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily mind like schools that are considered better than other schools if everyone had like equal access to resources.
Yeah.
Because you can be like the smartest person in the room but not be able to afford an Ivy. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
change anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't change that you know more than them or that you're like smarter than them. It just means you don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess that's more of like a I believe in free college and free access to education,
Mm-hmm.
but like more so than it is I hate the institution of like college. Like I don't. I'm in college. I just dislike a lot of things about it.
Yeah. I
But
don't know, just like for the Ivy League specifically, people do things growing up to get them into that like any of those
right.
schools, right? And they take special things and they take extra this and extra that and like and that's I don't know, that's why those let me wait, actually I want to look up the demographics of those schools. I'm willing to bet that they're mostly white.
I'm willing to bet. I'm going to say top two are probably white and Asian.
Yeah. And like but that's, you know, it all comes down to class. Everything comes down to class, which is upsetting.
Right. I'm saying that because like white men and Asian men make more than like most of the demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Most other demographics, sorry.
Wait, what is this? So I'm looking at like a chart that says it says Yale University overall diversity score. And like one of the categories is just ethnic. And then
That's not
and then
specific
underneath
enough,
it says
but
racial diversity is very good.
that doesn't give me any information.
Where is this? Oh yeah, 46% white, 17% Asian.
Yeah.
So obviously, like,
Something's up.
and then of course our faculty is even more white, 62%, 62.8 actually,
Right.
which, anyways, that's a whole other thing. But my point is
Right.
just that, you know, like it all comes down to class, and that's why more white people get into these schools, and
Right. And also have to speak to the staff. We have like generational wealth. Like it wasn't like personally, I don't on my like, well, really on my mom's side, but like we've had we've had the opportunity. I guess is what I mean. Not necessarily that you do have wealth, but like you like the opportunity was still there. So that was why like most places have majority or most universities like that have majority white staff. Is because like they've had that opportunity to have wealth and go to these schools and have their children become legacies and like them work at like on staff and I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just kind of annoying because like I know why it happens, but like that it also isn't fair.
yeah. And then it's like to me, just like the part that really pisses me off is like the whole social part of like like expecting your kid to go to those Ivy Leagues because you did, because your grandpa did, and like whatever, and like it keeps going back, and like that's what gets people.
Right.
Not that they're stupid, but you know, like that's probably, you know, that gets you into those schools. Whereas the other prestigious colleges don't necessarily have that social aspect. I don't think, right? Like I don't think it's as intense
Right.
as the Ivy League social aspect of like being rich and being part of the Ivy Leagues, and like it's like a whole different thing. It's like a different ball game. Ew, I made like a sports analogy. Like what? Like
Oh my god.
I don't know. It was just oh yeah, but can we go into the results of our polls?
My god, yes, yes we can. You go first because yours is funny and the mine's a train wreck.
So we both asked on our stories, like, how many Ivy Leagues do you think that there are? Just, you know, based on your own knowledge. And so a lot of my friends made logical guesses, the same that I would guess. Like I would probably guess like 10 because I don't really know anything about the Ivy Leagues. So I would guess logically maybe 10. And then so the range was like what was it?
I think the lowest was 3.
4. Or no, maybe 3.
3 or 4.
I think 4. Will said 4, which isn't a bad guess. It just made me laugh.
No, it's not. Like I would guess anywhere. I think from like if I didn't know, I would say there's probably about 20 prestigious schools in the country.
Like basically
that would have been my guess.
The highest that it got was 20, which is not unreasonable. But Tuck,
well, that's not entirely true.
Well, I don't know. Tuck like went off the deep end and was like 60. Like
blew my mind. I was like, that was so bold.
So bold of him. And then I texted him about it and he was like, what? Like was not even kidding. I thought maybe it was a joke.
When you
Amazing.
first said it, I was like, no, he's making a joke, but
Yeah.
no, it was very real. But at the same time, like, I get where he was coming from, because like I was trying to like look up the top 60, whatever the 60th school was in the country, because I was like, I mean, it's still a good school when you're at 60. So like it makes sense. Like maybe he was thinking in terms of good
Mm-hmm.
schools, but then that really killed
That
me.
was funny. Yeah.
Um,
What was yours?
let me say, my problem was the phrasing, I think, but I had this like idea in my head. I'm like, oh, West Coast versus East Coast. Like, of course, East Coast is gonna guess, like the answer is better because we live on the East
Mm-hmm.
Coast and we think like we know the Ivy Leagues just
Yeah.
because we're sort of around them. Because like UPenn's like not that far and
Yeah.
whatever. I made the mistake of phrasing the question as how many Ivies do you think there are? Like, as in
Yeah.
Ivy League schools.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that, my friends, and then the next one,
This hurts.
the next was, can you name like list all of them that you can name?
Mm-hmm.
And man, I messed up because everyone was saying like one or two, and I was like, how the hell are you getting one or two? And just let me read some of these responses because my God, do we have some winners? I would like to see also if anyone new responded. Someone got pretty close. She said 7, but she's smart.
Okay.
But then this guy that trolls me a lot said 1. So I'm like, oh my God, he's trolling. And so I went to the next one. It just says it just says poison.
As in poison ivy. As in he thought referring to how many plants that are ivies.
So I was like, okay, that's just one person. Like, like they can't possibly be. Oh, someone actually made like a good guess on my Finsta, and she said 10. She's also very smart.
Yeah.
She was pretty close. And then someone said probably like 3, and I was like, okay, a fair guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
like,
yeah.
One of your friends guessed like 4. I was like, all right, like that's. And then the next one is poison and Beyonce's daughter.
Oh. Oh.
I lost all confidence in my peers in that moment.
Oh no.
How do you get poison ivy and blue ivy out of what I said? Like,
Why would you ask
you
that?
to name all the types of ivies you know?
Like, what did they think?
Thank you so much for responding, but what the hell is going on in your mind?
God, that causes me true pain.
It's just, whoa. And I was so confident that my friends, or the people that follow me rather, would get it right.
Because if you're East Coast representing, like I said that weird.
They did us so dirty because I was like, haha, like Tucker gets 60, like that's so funny.
Yeah.
and then
they take it to a whole new level.
Poison ivy. Why would I be talking about that?
Oh my God.
And the worst part is I think that the one that said poison ivy and Beyonce's daughter blue ivy was thinking I meant like people.
God.
Like, because poison ivy's like isn't she a Marvel character?
Yes, she's some sort of character.
Is it Marvel?
I don't know.
I think Marvel.
I don't know. I have no idea. But basically, they completely misinterpreted. And I don't know why anyone...
Some of them got it right.
But like what?
Close.
7 to 10. I can't even process that. That just like doesn't... But see, I got the polar opposite, where these are kids from my high school that like... I'm like, okay, I know you memorized the Ivy Leagues, okay? Like, stop acting like they just wanted to be smart, They just want to be a smart person in my poll on Instagram. And they're like, it's 8, and then they list them all perfectly. And I'm like, okay, we
had to look it up.
Stay out of here. Like, no smart people.
And let me tell you, we shocked some people today. Like,
oh, yeah.
They were like, they didn't know Stanford wasn't one, and they didn't know MIT wasn't one. I thought MIT was Ivy. I also think at one point I probably thought Stanford.
I also thought MIT was Ivy.
I think almost every person who made like a good
Hmm.
guess also said MIT or Stanford.
Yeah.
But my favorite, so my favorite part about Tucker's response is like 60 was funny, and
Yeah,
we
we're
were
like,
like,
ah, ha,
okay.
ha, like 60 Ivy
But
Leagues.
then the next, but then the next one, he was so confident because it was like list all of the ones you can name,
Hmm.
and he was like, he said like he doesn't know, like I can't remember how it was phrased. He doesn't know
He,
most of them, but like he knew Harvard and
yeah,
Stanford, and
so
I'm
he
like,
said,
we're gonna shatter his
you're gonna lose it when you find out. Like, you're not gonna believe it.
only half right.
So he said, so the way it was phrased, it was Harvard, Stanford, that's all I know. Like, I know that for sure, as in, like, I'm positive, but that's the only thing that I know for sure. As in, Stanford is definitely one of the 60 Ivy Leagues in existence.
And if there are 60, I would assume Stanford is one.
Also, the idea of 60 Ivy Leagues, I'm sorry. Like, ooh, imagine, that's like not even, that's not even a league anymore, dude. That's too many for a league.
That's like a community.
Oh, God.
And just like
Cold.
I can't believe I was
Isn't,
I can't believe I was laughing at his 60 and being like, oh, like my East Coast people will know, and just
truly disappointed. At
poison.
least he was on
Poison
topic with
and
us.
Beyonce's dog. Right, like he knew where we were at.
He tried to meet
I
us there.
should have said Ivy League.
Well, I
it was
also,
my
okay,
fault,
sorry,
guys.
but if I saw, I would have known. I would not have tried to list the Ivies that I know, as in the plant or the people.
And I wonder, like, why would I ever want to know how many Ivies you know? Like, I only know
There
one.
also,
That's
there aren't
poison.
any, that's it. That's your only choice. Like, why would you be listing them? God.
I was so defeated because I remember thinking, oh, this kid's trolling me because he would put like Trump 2020 in my,
Ugh,
actually that explains a lot.
gosh. But
But
that one girl,
so I thought
though.
he was trolling me when he said one. Oh yeah, she transferred I think after 8th grade or maybe freshman year. But we hung out when we went to DC together. And man, I just expected so much more.
God, yeah, that took up a good portion of our day today. I think talking about the Ivy Leagues and how they're upsetting, and then also laughing at people's responses. Thank you to all who participated. It was truly a stimulating conversation.
Right.
Um,
I also was wrong about a lot of things involving the Ivy
Me
League,
too,
but
dude.
not that it was poison ivy. That's for sure. But that's also like how I talk to you sometimes. You'll like bring something up, and I'm just not on the same
No,
page.
yeah. But then we were like very briefly caught up, and then I'm like, oh, and then I'm there. But I just don't. I think this would take explaining to her a lot more. It would just be like, like the Ivy Leagues, and she's like, yeah.
It's just like I didn't even know what to do at that point. I'm like, well, I'm not like I didn't plan on posting the responses,
Mhm.
and I don't want to embarrass her, so I'm just gonna leave it. But like, she's gonna sit there for a good day or two, wondering why I didn't post a response because
Because, sweetie, it
because
would mortify you. You'd be bullied. Like,
and I feel she's like really nice too, so
oh
I didn't want to
no,
like
oh no. Oh my God,
embarrass
we've
her.
managed to talk about the Ivy Leagues for so long.
I knew we would.
Amazing.
I knew we would. But we also wanted to talk a little about our wildest hopes and dreams, kind
Yeah,
of, at the
on the
end.
topic of like the future and after college. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me, what's one of your wildest hopes and dreams?
Okay, so this is like if I ever made enough money to do this.
Okay.
But I've always wanted to like own a publishing house.
Same
But
brain.
love that. But no straight men are allowed to publish
Oh,
here. And queer men are on very thin
oh
line,
my
guys.
God.
Like you're barely allowed here. And if you write some weird thing about how grossed out you are by the female body and are like super misogynistic, you're out. You're out. Get out.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Amazing.
That's always so weird to me, like when like queer literature is like, the female body. I'm like, okay, being gay is not an excuse to be a misogynist.
Yeah.
Please see yourself out.
Yikes. That's the most disappointing stuff. Because, like, the straight
Right.
men, I'm like, okay, thank you for your
I
contribution.
expected
Yeah.
it.
But, like, the gay men, are you kidding me? Like, Wouldn't
He's
you get
supposed
it?
to be here for
Like,
us.
like what's going on
He's
there?
supposed to be our ally.
That's amazing. Good hope and or dream. Dream. I feel like that falls under
Yeah.
dream. Um,
I think we've had enough of straight man literature for a while.
Amazing.
And it's not to say I don't enjoy some books by straight men, but like maybe we can take a break. Like,
Okay, so one of my hopes and dreams for the future, I said I become a nomad and traipse throughout Europe, which I feel
that's such a good dream. That is
like
such a
how
good
fun. Like
dream.
I don't have a home.
That'd be so fun. I mean, like, I don't know if it sounds like, are we romanticizing homelessness?
Well, okay. I wouldn't be homeless. I would just be like, I'd be like,
Away from home.
I work jobs on the side and I travel wherever I want. And I just sleep on on the ground. I sleep forever. Okay,
I want to
my
be.
concept of a nomad is like probably wrong, but like,
I just want to be that careless and like be okay with knowing that like I will eventually be back home.
yeah.
I don't know when, but that's a cool dream. I like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Just quit everything and do that instead.
This is the one that I fantasize about when I was like in class. Like, you know,
Hmm.
when you just do you also have like a running daydream that's like a story?
Yes.
Okay, great. I have like three going on at one time. And sometimes they overlap a little and I'm like, no, start over, start over. So,
I do that with conversations for the most part, and I continue the conversations. Anyways,
that's how we talk. But
yeah.
this is one of mine that I've had since around sophomore year. I would like to infiltrate the world of celebrities and bring everyone down because there's so many people that haven't been deplatformed that like
Mm,
exist, and it bothers me that they still have platforms. And like I just this might ruin it if I ever happen to do this, but like on the off chance that I'd ever get to infiltrate the celebrities, but like I fantasize about like destroying the bad ones,
my
like
God.
exposing the like people that you just get an off vibe from, and then
Hmm.
like Jake
Always.
Paul, we all got an off vibe from him, and then like the FBI came in and arrested him. I'm still not
Oh
sure for
yeah.
what,
I heard
but
about
like
that vaguely.
everyone's like, I don't know if they're rumors. Someone said like it was like a child thing. Someone said it was like a weapons
Ooh.
thing, and we still don't know what it was. But like when you get a bad vibe from someone, I'm gonna infiltrate it.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing. That's a good one.
yeah, these like were like kind of ridiculous at first, but they get serious. I promise.
Okay, so I had a small little subsection in my list for partial hopes. These are things that I think, I don't know, I don't necessarily hope them because they're not necessarily the best things to happen. However, I do still partially hope them. So, the first one is I never marry and I never have children. Um,
Amazing. I would like that as well.
yeah, like I don't like I'm not like hoping for that, but I feel like I partially hope that I could like sustain being independent and not having a family, like my own, like make my own family, like for the rest of my
Mine's just
life.
like I have no desire to have kids, and I know this, but I'm so scared that I'll like decide that like I'm too lonely, or like someone will
Mm,
like convince me, and then I'll like have to raise a child, like, and that child's going to be in your life for the rest of your life. And like how do you cope with knowing that you would prefer not to have that child who's like a living breathing person?
yeah,
And like that freaks me out. So I hope I'm not like saying never. I'd be open to being like a surrogate one day, or
yeah,
like
that'd be cool.
yeah, like test the waters a little, ruin my
Yeah,
body for someone else.
dude.
Um,
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you have this, but sometimes, so I always say that I do not want kids, or I'm very
mhm.
hesitant about it because I am very hesitant about it. And but I also have this thing where I think about what I would do to parent a child because I have a lot of thoughts like that. I
Right,
like I don't know, just like I have opinions about how certain parents shouldn't be parents or they're parenting wrong. And like I just
right.
feel like if some parents just learn some of these things, they'd all be perfectly fine. But whenever I picture myself parenting a child and being a mom, I'm single. I don't have a partner. Like I'm not
Yeah.
co-parenting with somebody. It's just me.
Same. I don't. I mean, I like to picture it just in a sense of like, do you ever see those like mom videos on your TikTok? And I don't know how I get on mom TikTok because I don't engage with that content. Like I don't like it. I don't share it. I don't any. I just keep ending up there. And like I'm like, well, this is what I'd do in that situation. But like,
Yeah.
I would hopefully will not be in that situation. It's not that I'm not open to like fostering older kids or something, but like that's not raising them from birth till 18.
I'm not really interested in like I know for some people they don't consider fostering because they would like to have the experience from a baby to like,
Mm-hmm.
till adulthood. I'm actually not particularly interested in that. Not that I don't want a
Mm-hmm.
baby, except I don't really want a baby, but like it's not necessarily like crucial to my imagined experience of being a parent. I wouldn't mind fostering and just having like a teenager right away.
Right. I think that like that's like a friend at this point. Like for us
Hmm.
for us to have fostered, I mean, say you're around like age 20, that's still really young to foster, but you're around like age 21 and you foster like a 17-year-old. Like that is your friend.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you're also like their I don't really know if you're their parent, you're their foster parent, I guess. But like if you ever wanted to adopt them, you could, and you're giving someone like who wouldn't normally get a home. And
Yeah. I like
I
that
think that's a
idea.
good, yeah, it's like a good, if you don't want to parent really, like you don't want to parent from birth till like, you know, whatever. I mean, I guess you don't stop parenting, but
Yeah,
like
but yeah.
birth till 18, I guess in this scenario.
Hmm.
Like that's like a, I don't know, you're kind of just like providing for someone. And
I
I
just,
like taking care of people. I just don't want to take care of an infant.
me too. I'm also very turned off by the idea of childbirth,
Oh
which
yeah,
which
not a
all
fan.
girls are, but like it's to the point. Like some people are like, oh yeah, childbirth is scary, but I still want to be a mom. But me, it's enough that I do not want to be a mom. Like that's how scary it is. Like I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to be pregnant for 9 months. I don't want to give birth. I don't want to go through
That's
it.
so strange because we have like different things that scare us off from parenting.
Hmm.
Yours is like more centered around childbirth, but mine is like child like raising. Like
I don't. Yeah.
I don't want to have to raise a child from being born till they're 18, or you know, like they still live with you sometimes after 18, like if they're in college or whatever.
Hmm.
But like that doesn't sit right with me. I don't want that. Like I would rather, I also like not being pregnant, like childbirth doesn't necessarily turn me off. It's not something I would enjoy, I don't think. But like, because surrogacy doesn't turn me off. But like,
Yeah, that's it. That's like the difference. Like we have the same kind of like final outlook, but the reasoning is different.
and I think the reason I like lean towards surrogacy one day, obviously not anytime soon, is because like we have a lot of discriminatory laws towards like gay couples adopting and stuff like that. So to be
Mm,
able to do that would be really nice. But also at the same time, like it's almost like getting a taste of what it would be like. So I could really for sure make that decision if I would want kids or not. Because in the back of my head, like it's always there because people have always told me, like, no, you don't like really love anyone until you have a child. I'm like, that's the
mm,
saddest thing I've ever heard. You've never loved anyone until you have a child. Like,
yeah, I get it. I think they just mean it's like a different plane of love, but it is like weird.
mm-hmm.
I don't
And
know.
I also don't want to miss out on that experience of like loving someone that much, but like
Hmm.
also like that's why I get annoyed with that comparison because I'm like you're making me feel like I'm missing out because like I'll never experience that love, and I don't think that's true. I think we
Yeah.
all have a different capacity for love, and like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree.
That's
That's
just my
interesting.
take on it.
No, yeah, so that's weird that that's a concern for you. Because it's not, it's never been for me because the reason why I am okay with even considering not having any children, any family like that, is because I want to be a teacher when I'm older. And a lot of what draws me to parenting and wanting a kid is because I like the idea of positively influencing a kid and raising them the way that I want them, like how I want them to look at life and how I want them to treat people. And, just like being there for a kid when they need it. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. But that's exactly the fulfillment that you get with teaching. So that's why I'm completely unbothered by not having that with a kid of my own because
Right.
I feel like I would get the same sort of reward if as a teacher, because that is what teaching is.
Right. I think mine's more of like I like taking care of people and like teaching people things, but
Hmm.
people who are like in my head like toddlers and below are not people. You know what I mean? And that sounds so weird, but I mean like I know they're teachable. I know like you take care of them, but like in a sense that I like taking care of people that can already be at least partially independent.
Me too. I like toddlers. I don't like babies because I'm like, well, it doesn't do anything, but it
Right.
cries, it doesn't talk. But like, okay, so I've always thought that I don't like little kids, and I don't really, but I teach ukulele lessons, so I teach kids. Like those, that's the age.
Hmm.
I teach like, I think the youngest I have right now is 6. So that's like a, that's a tiny person. They're already pretty developed. She can
Right.
talk, and I think the oldest is maybe like 10. Not that old.
Mm.
That's a good age too.
Yeah, 10. I think 10, 11, and 12 are the best. Everyone
Yeah.
hates 12, but I like 12-year-olds.
Oh, yeah. I'm not fully, I don't know. I've never taught anyone that old, or maybe I have. I don't know. But basically, I teach like an age where they can talk, and I enjoy the part of like the way that I like to teach is I don't like baby voices and babying and all this
Hmm.
like treating them like little kids. Like I talk to them like they're adults. Like I talk to them like how I would talk to
Right.
somebody my age. And I would appreciate that as a kid, and that's why I talk to them like they're not little kids. Even if
Hmm.
sometimes I mean some of them are pretty immature. Like I think sometimes
Right.
what I say kind of goes over their head, but I still continue to talk to them like they get it with still
Isn't
making
it like
sure.
good for their development or something?
I
I've
think
heard
so.
something
I don't
about
know.
that.
I'm just like not that I mean I can be like like baby voice, but I think like with teaching at least, it's like I like to keep it like I treat them like I take them
Hmm.
seriously. That's what I
Right. I
like about
think
it.
10's old enough too to know like when someone's purposefully babying you and they have that like in the back of their head where they're like, oh, she sees me as a child. And like that kind of can I don't know. I
Hmm.
remember being like young and knowing that someone sees you and is talking to you like you're an infant. And like I remember being
I
so
hate that.
annoyed by that.
Yeah, I always hated that. So I don't know. So I make sure not to. I don't really like to do that. That was a long
Yeah, that
tangent.
was like intense.
Amazing. I
Me
have
too.
one more because I spent so much time thinking about marrying and never having children. But my second one, it says, I act on a popular TV show that lasts 15 years and I grow to resent acting.
Like Grey's
I always
Anatomy.
think about that. Yeah, where like they play the same character for like over 10
Right.
years and like they have to hate it by now. There's no way that they
There is
still like
no
it.
character that is
Um,
nuanced enough to last 15 years. I'm not a
yeah,
single
sorry.
one. There is not. Grey's Anatomy has had everything. They've had like car crashes, plane crashes, bombs in a hospital, and like that is still not nuanced enough to make someone an interesting character after like 15 years.
Yeah, so that's my partial hope. I think it would be funny. And I don't know, 'cause like I watch shows like so I love the X-Files, and on that show, that's one of the shows where they play the same character for a very
Hmm.
long time, and that has affected their acting, like their jobs now. Like that's the thing about why it's only a partial hope. It's because like theater is fleeting. It's supposed to be fleeting. It should not last
Right.
15 years. Um, but basically on the show, they have a very long show, and then also they have this like crazy chemistry with each other. And so the sub point to my partial hope is that I have undeniable chemistry with my scene partner, and it destroys all of my romantic relationships in real life because they watch me on TV and they're like, y'all in
Right.
love? And I'm like, no, we're just acting. But it's like so good that like they don't believe it, and I can never date anybody and never be with anybody because they're
Oh
just
my
jealous.
God. I think about that all the time. How do you kiss someone and like be like romantically not I mean I know it's not like actually. I know it's acting, but in my head, like you kiss someone who's clearly very attractive. Like because
Hmm.
most actors are like it's just how it is. Maybe it's their like personality or like energy, but like most actors are pretty attractive for
Hmm.
6 seasons and not fall madly in love with them. Like I it
Yeah.
blows my mind because I understand maybe short stints like or like in theater too like you
Yeah.
don't really do more than kiss in theater.
Yeah, kiss. But like I can't imagine like those sex
Right.
scenes.
That's insane and I think about that all the time because like how would you I could not cope with that. Like I'd cry after
Yeah.
oh
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, do you know who Sophia
mm-mm.
Bush is? So she's an act or she was like one of the main actresses on this show called One Tree Hill
Oh yeah.
for a lot of her
I was a
20s
Gossip
basically.
Girl
And
bitch so like yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, I went
Mhm.
the other route. But yeah, so Sophia Bush was on that show, and her character was like, I guess they tried to play it as like quote unquote
Mhm.
slutty for whatever reason. And she had this thing on her Instagram. I follow her on Instagram, and she was talking about like the actor agreements regarding intimate scenes in television and movies, and she was spreading information about it because basically there was a it's like a union kind of thing, and they negotiate for like they negotiate the terms of
Mm-hmm.
agreement for intimate scenes on behalf of those actors. And so there's the one in the US and then the sister one in Canada, and where they work with the same studios, so all the same clients, but they negotiated completely different contracts. And basically the US contract was like so disrespectful of the actors' rights to privacy and like the sensitivity needed for an intimate
Mm-hmm.
scene in the US, but Canada got
Oh my
everything.
God.
And then the US was like, yeah, and the US was like asking their actors to be like, okay, vote yes on this. Like, look at these great things that we got for you in our agreement. And then you see the Canada one, and it's just so much better in
Right.
every way.
It's just
And
weird to me because the
yeah,
agreement, like, people should just be don't do anything you don't want to do. Like, you shouldn't be like, that's
mm-hmm.
like,
Oh
it's so
yeah,
simplistic. Like, no one should have to do anything, especially on camera. That's like, it's there forever. Like,
uncomfortable.
why would you
Yeah,
ever
and
want to
like
force someone to do, well, anything in general, but on camera of all places?
I know. It's really upsetting, dude. So a couple things really stuck with me from what she talked about, like the differences between US
Mm-hmm.
and Canada. And one of the disturbing things was like when you do an intimate scene in Canada, what they require is, I think it's just the actor, so that's probably just two people because it's an
Mm-hmm.
intimate scene, and then just necessary crew members. So like
Mm-hmm.
whoever's filming, the director, the lights and boom and stuff like that. And that's only adds up to be like maybe five, maybe seven
Right.
people. So in the US, she said that what happens is you have you and your partner, and then basically anybody can come watch. So that ends up being
Oh.
like 75 people watching on the monitors. And she said in the US, what they got them to agree to was they have to announce themselves to the actor so that they know beforehand. And she said that's not comforting to get like a
Right.
bunch of dudes telling you, "Hey, I'm gonna go watch you be
That's so
naked
weird. Like,
over
oh, thank
there."
God you
Like,
announced yourself. Like, break into my house and announce yourself. Thank you. I
yeah.
feel so much better now that I know who you are.
Yeah, that's a whole other tangent. But
That just pisses me off.
gosh, yeah.
Obviously, only necessary. That's why I like when like I'm watching cast interviews and they're like, I know it's like bare minimum, but they're like, yeah, our director made sure
Mm-hmm.
like like it was only us and the people who
Mm-hmm.
absolutely had to be there. Because I can't
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
imagine
exactly.
how awkward that would be. Like if everyone, your
Yeah.
castmates are
God.
watching you, like the weird dude from
Yeah.
like the lighting crew is watching you, and he doesn't have to be there. He made some shit up just so he could go watch your scene.
Yeah. God, it's so gross. And another, sorry, this is so long, but like one other thing that really stuck out to me that she said was in Canada, they make sure that after they film your scene, she said a scene, at least, in her experience, a scene, let's say 2 pages, would take maybe three
Mm-hmm.
hours, maybe longer to film. And in Canada, they guarantee that after they're done, they destroy the other unused
Mm-hmm.
footage. In the US, there's no
That's
guarantee.
so weird. Like I always think about like, do they like watch the scenes back and like make sure like the actors and make sure they're like okay with everything on there? And also, I wouldn't want.
I don't think
That
so.
would like I'd need to watch it because like
Yeah, and it's so upsetting because like there's hours of footage of your
right.
body, and like it wasn't always for the scene, and then just like somebody is like watching it and editing it, and anybody could really look at that, whoever's like in that room
That's
and
so
stuff.
upsetting.
And
Like
yeah,
I
that
think it
whole
comes from the whole notion that just because like someone's on camera, they're or an actor who's done like these kinds of scenes before, they're comfortable with doing it again, or like they're comfortable. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think we get a lot of like stereotypes about actors that they're just super chill and like will do anything, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's not true. Like I'm not an
It's
actor,
not
and
true,
I
and it
know
shouldn't
that.
be.
Like
Mm-hmm. Like that's just it's impossible to ask that of somebody, and the thing is like you can say no to these things in anywhere, but then that'll get
right,
you
I was thinking
blacklisted.
about that. Like I was reading through different people whose careers are like resurging after like a decade, and they're like, yeah, it was because I got
Mm-hmm.
blacklisted for speaking out about this guy, or like around what the time when the
Yeah.
Me
Oh
Too
my
movement
God.
started, and they were like, well, I've been black, and
Mm-hmm.
even now, no matter what they do, their career will never be the same, and like
Mm-hmm.
also they like will never get that audience back, and that's the sad reality of it. Like you will never get the audience back that you had before, even if you come back from a
Yeah.
blacklisting.
It's just so upsetting because like then because they're like, oh sure, feel free to say you're not comfortable, but then we're gonna say that you're
Right.
uncooperative, on set and you're causing problems and blah blah blah, and then look, you never get a job.
They,
It's just so it makes me
dude, I
so
heard something
mad.
about, I'm not sure if this is true, something about that with like Megan Fox after Jennifer's Body. And it was because of the way it was
Mm.
marketed. It wasn't because of, I don't think she was being uncooperative, but it was marketed.
Uh-huh.
The film was supposed to be like about like, okay, so she eats boys in it, like, and there's like this whole iconic
Okay.
line where someone's like, you're killing them, you're killing people, and she's like, no, I'm killing boys. And like, it was marketed as like this film where Megan Fox is being sexy again, and like, so all the wrong people
Oh,
came
what?
and reviewed it, and it was like, men thought it was like so disturbing. Or what's that one movie
Oh
called,
God.
Teeth? There's this
I don't
one that
know.
was, again, it was marketed towards men, but it was like, I don't even think I can explain the premise without like getting too graphic, but just look up the summary. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
marketed towards men and their like enjoyment of Megan Fox. And so all the wrong people watched it. It
Ugh.
was like about, it was so, that's not what it was meant to be. I don't know how else to explain it. They
Mm-hmm.
like Megan
Yeah,
Fox
for sure.
lost a lot of her
Ugh,
like
that's so upsetting.
her stamina and her career. At least that's how like she speaks about it, because the
Mm-hmm.
girls that watched it wanted to slut shame her, and the guys that watched it saw it as, oh, she's
Mm-hmm.
just like, she's being a bitch, like she's like, and
Yeah.
that's not what
Oh my God, that
it
makes me
was
so
such,
mad.
I don't even know, like, I don't think it's technically satirical. It was more like, let's show the violence that, in my opinion, because maybe this wasn't what it was, there's
Mm-hmm.
so much, think Tarantino movies. Like, do you not think women in the audience feel a
Oh,
little uncomfortable watching like the intense violence against
yeah.
women? Like, you don't think that makes us uncomfortable?
Yeah.
But God forbid, this like Teeth especially, like she's, I can't even say like without it getting too
Don't,
graphic.
it's okay.
Like it's bad men involved, but somehow that like
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, it's just too much. Like even men who are like really into
God.
horror are like, God, it's just so much. I'm like, do you not, like, are you not familiar with how normalized violence against women is on screen? And like, God forbid we have one
Yeah.
thing where it's like, look at this, like this is what you do to women on screen. I'm not saying violence, like gory movies can't exist, but we at least have to recognize that like a different
Mm-hmm.
standard exists for women than does for men, in terms of like, we can't beat the shit out of men that are like abusing women because they're like, oh, it's just too
Mm-hmm.
much. No, it's not. I have to
Yeah.
watch women in Tarantino
Ugh.
movies get beat the shit beat out of them for just existing. Like, I actually, I
Yeah.
don't really have to. I don't watch Tarantino movies except for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I was getting my money's worth.
God, that's a whole other. Ugh. Okay. I'll go
Right.
on forever if I talk about that.
Anyway,
Whew.
I wanted to
Okay, but
list
yeah.
just a couple more goals I had real quick. So this is
Okay, yeah.
my ideal life, but like these are just like bullet points. That's where I got kind of like serious. I want to attend law school in Boston, DC, or
Mm-hmm.
possibly, if I'm out of money, Canada or Europe. And if I do go there, I want to get citizenship wherever
Ooh.
I am. Because if
That's
in
so
Canada,
cool.
if you go to college there, you can easily get citizenship.
Oh my God.
Right.
That's
I
so
also
cool.
want
Oh
to,
my
like,
gosh.
after I get my degrees from NYU, I like one day, this isn't like a right after kind of thing, because law school and a PhD are completely different, but I want to make people call me
Mm-hmm.
doctor. And like, so
Oh my
I want
God.
to pursue a PhD, probably in politics rather than creative writing or English, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I just, it's one of those things where ultimately it's not going to get me much further, but if I were financially stable enough to do it, I would, just because I like the structure of like education and I like learning things that I'm interested in. So like that would be cool. And Han was
Mm.
laughing at this one earlier. I want to flip a house, but I want to make her like,
Okay, there's nothing wrong with flipping houses. I just feel like for some reason every woman is like, I feel like every young woman is like, I'm
and
gonna
I know
flip a
nothing about like
house.
electrical wiring or like anything to do with utilities. Like, I'm going to mess this house up. It's gonna suck. But I want to make
That's
it like
so funny.
cottagecore.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love that. See, there's nothing wrong with flipping houses. I too would like to flip a house. It's just funny because I feel like where did this idea come from and why is it planted into our
Did you
minds
watch
like this?
Fixer Upper when
Like
you were
who said
younger?
it?
I think that's where it came from. Oh, my
No, I
mom watched a
didn't.
lot of like
Oh, okay.
HGTV shows, and it made me want to flip a house. So I was
Interesting.
like, if the Property Brothers
Amazing.
can do it, I can do it. I actually don't know if that's what the Property Brothers do, but um, yeah, I think that would be like super cool. I also want to live in like the countryside of England, not England, Italy. Jesus Christ, that sentence
Hmm.
just did not want to come out. because I think it would just be like cool and like a vibe, and I want to live in all different
Ugh,
places.
somebody just revved their motorcycle.
I
Sorry.
can hear it.
Amazing. Sorry.
But like, yeah, that's
Um,
the end of my goals for one day list.
that's cool. I like that. I don't know. I want to live in other places too. I almost went to college in London, so I want to live there for a
I could
while in some
visit.
way. I don't know how.
Live there when I
Oh
live
my
in
God,
Italy.
yes. Oh my God, let's go together and like
Great.
split
All
off.
right.
That'd be
See ya.
so fun. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. So I want to live in London. I want more tattoos. That's very
Mm-hmm.
achievable, but that's just one thing that I would like to do. Yeah, I don't know. I also put the thing down about working at a publishing company. You said owning
Oh.
your own, but I would love to publish books. That'd be
I think it'd
cool.
be cool just to like I would get full control over what's published, and like I wouldn't have
Hmm.
obviously like I'd want to like it's not censorship. I feel like I mean it's your publish or your publishing company, but I'd want to make sure like more harmful media doesn't get out into the world because I feel like a lot of what we know
Hmm.
comes from harmful media. So like I was like
Hmm.
half kidding about like no straight men can publish here, but also they have like a ton of other options. That's people get mad when I say that. I'm like
Yeah,
this is so people who aren't
I'm not mad.
like I guess more inclined to write or like
It's
more likely to get
it's giving a
more likely to
voice.
get published do. And I also don't want
Yeah.
to read your self insert
That's
fanfic. Like
That's so funny. I also went down like the kind of road of I like the idea of having full creative control and control over everything basically like in a business.
you'd be
And
so
so
good at that. Han's like incredibly
I would
talented at
love to.
marketing, if you guys didn't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I would love to, like, I love what we're doing with Two Bad
Mm-hmm.
Decisions, like with our shop. I really enjoy that. I'd also like to run my own like lesson business. Like,
That'd
right,
be
I
so cool.
do that, but it's quite, yeah, it's pretty informal right now. So I would like to do like a more formal version.
I will make your
And
business cards. Maybe I'll be
oh my
better by I'll be
God.
like
Oh my
better at
God.
calligraphy by then.
That'd be so cool. Oh my gosh, a collaboration.
Business cards from Too
I
Bad
also
Decision.
I also wanted to do I want to go to the Oscars
That'd
and
be so fun.
I want to become a skater girl. Oh my
That was on my
gosh.
bucket list. I wanted to learn how to surf and how to skateboard. I have roller
Oh my
skates. Does
gosh.
that
I have a
count?
skateboard.
I don't think I'm cool enough for a
Yes.
skateboard.
I can lightly skateboard, but I don't know how to propel myself forward like without like I can, but like I don't know how to make it. You know
Yeah.
how like I feel like
They
people can push once and they go all the
right.
way
I had
across the
someone try and
street.
teach me once, and they just couldn't let go of me because I was a mess.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. But also my final one is that I would like to become one of Greta Gerwig's repeatedly used actors like Timothy and
I saw.
Saoirse.
Okay, I love Greta. I don't mean this offensively, but I saw something, and this one girl was like, she was like, what I'd wear in a Greta movie, and she just didn't like. She like just disappeared off the TikTok because she's like, just kidding, Greta only casts white actors.
I know that's my only
Right.
complaint. I'm just like,
And I get
a
for
little
Little
too
Women,
white.
but like anything else was like
Yeah, it's gonna be
because
overkill.
I understand people complain about like
Yeah.
historical inaccuracies all the time. I'm like, did people of color suddenly pop up? And, but like, okay, I understand Little Women. I'll give her leeway on that. But like, I don't know. I
Hmm.
like. It's not that I don't like Greta. I think you can like someone and still be like, you have some room for improvement, even though you're super talented.
Yeah, I think with her next project, she should prove some people wrong and not cast like I think about Julie in Lady Bird, and like that's a person of color that
Mm-hmm.
wait, isn't
Julie?
she?
Oh yeah, Julie. I was
Yeah,
thinking of who's her
like
best
her.
friend?
That's what I was
No,
thinking
but
about.
the not like her, the one she's best friends with when she's dating Kyle, but the one, the other
Oh yeah,
one.
her.
They're
Yeah.
both J names, aren't they? Jessica and Julie or
I
something.
don't know. I just hope that she doesn't fall into like another like okay, here's your person of color, and then they're like the supporting character
I
again.
like
I'm
couldn't
tired of it.
remember her
Like
name. The only reason I knew it because it was in the script that I like copied and pasted. Like literally, she made her
But
so
yeah, I just
unmemorable.
yeah. Oh my God, wait, dude, this episode is
We're
so
so
long.
sorry. Like we just went on a tangent and got real excited about our hopes and dreams. Um,
Yeah, and the
right.
Ivy Leagues.
This is probably why like less people are listening. They're like, holy shit, this is like and
They're like, ooh, hour and
right,
20
like
minutes.
that's a lot of time to ask someone to invest. Um, but I think that's all we have to say. I mean, do you have anything else?
No,
All
you're
right,
good. This
sick.
was a fun one. Yeah. So, thank you for
Hmm.
listening. You can follow our Instagram at Two Bad Decisions Pod, and we also have
We
a
do.
resource list, right?
I'm adding one for the explosion in Lebanon. Um,
Oh my God, I was gonna add that.
Same
Amazing.
brain, but like also like a
Hmm.
huge current event, like of course, but
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know, same brain. Me and Han just like to be on the same wavelength. But I'm also
Yeah.
adding some like petitions that I think they're for like older cases, but like it's like a new petition. I don't
Hmm.
exactly know how to explain it.
Oh, I do know. It's so basically like some for cases like Breonna
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's. There's like it's like basically like a White House petition where, from my understanding, it's a new like kind of official version of
Right.
that, like different from the Change.org ones, because if they meet their goal by a certain date, which I think for Brianna is like the end of this
Mm-hmm.
month ish, then the White House has to respond. That's what I've understood from reading their website. So if they meet that goal,
Right.
then we will get a response on these cases that we are not
Yeah.
getting justice for. So that's why
Right.
that's important.
What blows my mind is that the Change.org one, how many did it, like, how many signatures did it end up having? And, like, nothing happened.
I don't know.
Well, not
I don't know, but it
enough
was
happened, I
something.
guess is what I mean to say.
I don't know. It was like a lot and nothing.
But yeah, it's like the two-step verification one where you verify on your, it feels more official. Like, I don't know if that actually means it
hmm
is, but
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Please verify it via your email. I feel like there must have been so many signatures that
right.
didn't go through because they just didn't
Mm-hmm.
verify it.
No, if you hadn't put
But yeah.
like verify by email, I probably wouldn't have noticed it because it's like kind of small print. Like,
Yeah. And I'm like, are you trying to scam me here? Like, you trying to get less
right.
signatures so you don't have to
That just
respond?
feels like a very
Like,
strange thing to do. Like, to require an email verification. I mean, I guess it makes sense. There's no more bots like signing, but I don't really know if that happens on
mm,
change.org. Probably. Maybe a couple, but
yeah.
I don't know. I can't make estimates. But yeah, that's
Anyways, yeah, that's the episode for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next
bye.
week. Bye.